Oh, hey, Mo. Didn't see you there.
Oh, sorry. I was just prepping, talking to my backstage crew over here. Welcome to Calling the Audible. It is a solo ship today. Well, there's two. It's Eagle and I, but no Iggy or Izzy, as some like to call him.
Someone likes to schedule games when we record our show.
Yeah, and then he'd be like, oh, guys, I play on 8 teams. You know, kiss my in-laws' ex's team, whatever they're called, right?
Balls deep,
Yeah.
Christmas something.
Something, you know. I got to run these 10-minute offenses that I do every week. So Izzy is not here, but really his name is Iggy. He's not here today, so it's Eagle and I, but it's mostly I who will be carrying the ship on this episode 2 of Calling the Audible. And, you know, it's funny enough, Eags were a few weeks in, but some teams have played 3-4 games. But a reminder for some of the key points that we're going to go through before we get to the topics at hand. A reminder that you need to be 4 games eligible for the knockout stages. It's important that you look at your roster because now we're at the 4-game point. So some teams have played half their games. So it's imperative that you look at it to make sure that you have the correct number of games. So please triple check your team page that you have the correct number of games for all the guys who has participated in your season so far. It's awfully important because if you will come back to us, and this is Eagle, you know very well, if you come back to us the last game of the opening round or regular season, hey, Joe Schmo played week 1. Well, okay, it's too late. You have to notify us ASAP so we can look back and backtrack and investigate to see maybe we bleeped up or, hey, your guys simply never showed up.
And Mo, just to clarify for some teams, there is a possibility where, let's say, like, your game is uploaded the night of. It may take up to 24 hours to get the roster numbers updated, right? So, for example, like if we're looking at a roster over here, thank you, ads, the GPs that you're going to see, it's possible maybe the exact number is not updated right after your game's uploaded. But if within like a day, if the number is not correct, email us, right? Because it's supposed to give you the correct number in terms of what the games actually are. I'm using my roster because I know exactly what it should be at, but yeah.
Well, I can't see anything. I'm blind right now. I don't have my glasses on. So I'm going to nod.
But your glasses are right there. Just put them on.
I know, but I've worn glasses all day today, man. It's been a long day. So anyway, please double check that. Finally, rules committee suggestions. Start thinking of that. We have our fall meeting, which is around, I guess, late October, early November, roughly.
Yeah. So, and just for everyone to know, what we normally do is we'll hold an annual rules committee meeting where we'll look at the rule book, we'll look at adjustments we need to make. A lot of the times, it's more procedural or clarifications, right? Like, Mo, recently we had an example where the Trap Stars forfeited after the first half because their backup QB went down with an injury.
That's right, Cooper
and
Young.
And then they were down to 5 players essentially, and they're like, well, we want to finish this game. Technically speaking, we actually don't have a procedure for doing that scenario.
Right.
Because it is a forfeit in-game that doesn't hit any of our conditions. So this is one of those, like, we know what's supposed to happen, but it's not documented, right? So things like that is what we go through in terms of just clarifying procedure and making things more obvious. But then we also like incorporating new rules that we want to introduce.
Right.
And a lot of the times this comes down to making sure players are still safe, giving whatever advantage we can to the defense because we know FPF is an offensive-driven league.
Absolutely.
Without doing anything gimmicky. So we still want to keep it within the realm of football. So we're not doing like, you know, weird punt returns and that type of stuff or whatever. But we want to still keep it within what's considered football appropriate.
Yeah.
And we also want it to be something which makes the game more competitive, right?
Yeah,
so nothing that just like makes it all silly and just ridiculous.
Well, it's like the onside rule, right? That came to play last fall and became a mainstay, and it's changed games. So we'll talk about what we're referring to. It has literally changed games, playoff matchups, and has made games relevant if you're down by 2 scores with literally a minute left in the game if you have possession. So
start thinking about that. Normally what we end up doing is we'll put up like a form that you can fill in with your rule suggestion, link either to an existing rule to modify it, or if you want to add a new rule, go ahead and submit that as well. Those go into our rules committee agenda. We then vote on them. There's both player reps, staff reps, and referee reps that are all there. So it's not like it's just the refs that decide on stuff. It's a combination of criteria there. And even then, if you want to have rules specifically for co-ed, specifically for women, specifically for junior, submit those as well because they also have their own section in the rule book for those different areas.
Yeah, we laugh now. It's late September, but you know, winter season's not far away. It's literally in 3 months, and it creeps up quickly. So
have you seen anyone take a snap under center, by the way? Because that was a temporary rule modification we made for Fall Cup just to see how it was going to be adopted.
Not.
Yeah. Are you surprised, though?
I don't know if people know about it.
I mean,
I don't think people know about it.
that goes back to what I was saying pre-show.
Yeah, it's true, eh? Yeah. The ship's been abandoned. It's a directionless ship right now in the Bermuda Triangle. Can't get out of it. All right, let's dive into it. We'll start off with women's Red Nation. This is Iggy's question here, which is it's Iggy's question. By the way, he words it right. He writes, Iggy, has Red Nation put their offensive woes behind them? If yes, what's the biggest reason? And they're fine scoring more than 6 points. If no, what do they need to improve on? Okay, so I score kept the Red Nation game against Brutes yesterday. No, they have not, Iggy. Red Nation look, Brutes is a fantastic team. I'm not going to deny that. We spoke about it last week, how them and Vortex are like the Alabama and Georgia of this division. Of course, you made the point, not from this year, which is not the case, but the point I'm going to bring up with Red Nation is that, unfortunately, when they play against better teams like Vortex or Brutes, they don't have the speed to keep up with them. And the closing gap of these teams, when they see a ball in the air, they are like pythons out there. They snatch you and bam, the ball's out of harm's reach here. And yesterday they did provide issues to Brutes in the first half. Brutes just kind of didn't get going until the second half. They just turned it on to next level, and that was it. Didn't look back. I just think for Red Nation, look, it's all matchup dependent for them and who they face. If they face the Wildcats, which they scored 25 points, great. X and X, same thing. But when you play against a team like Vortex or a Brutes team, they have scored 64 combined points to the 7 total from Red Nation. You just see that there is it's not a small gap, but it's almost a chasm with the best of the best against, say, the Red Nation.
Yeah, and I think, they're going to be the gatekeeper team in the women's division, right? It's that they're going to destroy the weaker teams and they're going to get crushed by the stronger teams, predominantly by their offense, right? Like their defense has always done what the defense does, where they're able to, keep their opponents down a certain number of points. But if the offense isn't helping them out, that means they're on the field a lot, and eventually they get tired, and eventually they have to start letting up points and everything. And especially if you have interceptions, that also puts your team in a bad position. So I don't know what to think of Red Nation, right? This is how many seasons of it. I say this. I feel like I say this every year, where it's almost disappointing, and then they come out and they make it to the championships, and I'm like, all right, well, I guess they figured it out, and then this happens again. So I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this team anymore.
They're a streak team. That's what they are. When they're hot, you say when they're hot, unbelievable, and they deserve full credit. They've won back-to-back spring titles, and that's a testament to them. But the reality is, when they play, as you said before, when they play the murderous row of teams, they just don't match up well with them. It's like, again, to go back to college football, it's like that recruiting factor, right? You might be a mid-major program and you bring in, solid guys that fit your program. But when you play those 5-star dudes out there, it's a different animal. And you look at a team like Vortex, and, Mola Cass will even say it wasn't her best game, and they still put up 31 points. Yep. In the first half, it was 6-0 for Brutes. My point is this: if the Brutes, if they had converted on the red zone chances they had, I think they had 2 or 3 trips, they went 1 for 3, whatever it was. If they had converted on those numbers, it would have been 53-6 or 53-7 at the end of the day. So, have they improved Red Nation as an offense? No, but are they better than half the teams? Yes, and that's what they are. They're sort of like that Seinfeld episode where they break even. That's what they are. They'll break even, and that's what you want. It's like investing. You're not going to be over the big risk taker or no risk taker. There's that break even type of investor.
I think I do have a potential solution for this team, though. You know what they can do? They can get a subscription at BuzzFit with no initiation fees for all FPF players. Let's let the robot talk for 30 seconds to let the viewers know what they need to do.
Hey FPF players, looking to take your fitness to the next level? BuzzFit Gyms has a special offer just for you. Join us today with no initiation costs. Get ready to score big in the gym and on the field. Visit us at BuzzFit Gyms and seize this exclusive deal now.
All right, plug's over, Mo. You can continue.
Okay, perfect. BuzzFit. It's a spot to go. Hey, winter's coming, ladies and gentlemen. You want to keep yourself in shape because spring is not far away.
You keep looking at the other ones. This one.
I know. Spring's not far away, guys. Spring is not far away. It's 6 months away. Wedding season is about 8 months away. I know because I have 2 weddings next summer. I need to get in shape. That's what I need to do.
I mean, you don't really need to. You look good, actually.
Thank you. Thank you. I actually have a wedding this Saturday, but I got 2 weddings, including someone that I know very well.
Actually, you know what? I take that back. You looked way better back then.
I
Look at the arm. Wait, flex your arm.
can, man.
You know what? No. It's pretty comparable, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Best Fit. Go check it out. Get yourself in shape. I got a couple weddings next summer, so I got to look good for those 2 weddings in June, actually. So can't wait for that. Okay. So next question is Maryse Paquette, one of the top snappers in this league, and Josiane Martin as well. Who I'm picking between those two? Very simple. Maryse Paquette. I love her game. I've watched her play the last couple of years, couple of seasons that is. Look, 42 catches, 408 yards in a league, in a division that does not enable you to get multiple first downs, right? You get 4 tries to get first down, and then you move on, right? And for her to have 42 receptions on 56 targets, it's a great number. I think she's an excellent player. She's a space eater, so she takes up a lot of space up the middle in terms of her ability to open it up, and that's benefited most for the Wolfpack overall. So Paquette's my player. Now, I wouldn't be shocked, Eagle, because right now at 42 catches, 408 yards, and 5 touchdowns, she definitely has a strong case along with Gigi Kabila-Bonte for receiver of the year, because you look at the numbers right now, the next window of players, they're at 282, 279, 231, 211, whatever it is, 214, 210. So really, they've doubled up. So this might come out to Gigi Kabila-Bonte and Maryse Paquette as being your 1 and 1A. But I think Paquette's one of the best snappers in the women's division this season.
One thing that I find interesting is that because you're playing 5-on-5, the defenses are very different, right, than what we're used to in the classic men's division. We've always talked about how, the snapper being the wild card in an offense, because you can run effectively any route, or you can just be the bailout option for a lot of quarterbacks. Versus when you're 5, the center makes a big difference in terms of where they are in the field, right? You can design a lot more concepts around them, and then covering them, it also becomes much more difficult. So it really does kind of showcase Paquette's ability to kind of just get open and carry this team with all the yards and touchdowns.
Yeah, I think so. And I think Paquette is that perfect prototypical snapper in this format of 5-on-5, where the space eating that she does is beneficial for everyone else on that football field. And I think she's definitely something to watch out for moving forward, for what she can bring. As for Wildcats, or Wolfpack that is, and Wildcats in particular, them Red Bull. Like right now for both teams, not the best start for them this season. But when you think about it right now, who can benefit most? I think Wildcats can, because I think this team has potential. I know they played Red Nation tough, lost by 7. They lost by 14 to Vortex, which is remarkable because, again, Vortex is deemed the best of the best, along with Brutes, who will play next at Mary Vic next Tuesday. But after that game, look, they get Wolfpack, X&X, Red Bulls, and Red Nation. They could be 4-4 Eagles because they've gone through the meat grinder of the top 2 hitters. And if they can put it together at the halfway point and get themselves back into that window, yeah, I think they can win 2, maybe 3, and who knows, maybe the last 4. So I'm thinking that Wolfpack or Wildcats, but a big part, will be the team to watch out for moving forward and how they built up so far. I mean, look at the roster right now in terms of who they have. Again, the quarterback play, Catherine Bolduc is growing in. I know she's throwing more INTs at 11, but she definitely has plenty of room to grow in terms of her style of play. And Josiane Martin, that's the play that Iggy mentioned before, the top receiver for receptions and yards and touchdowns. If they can figure out how to get the supporting cast, whether it's Sabrina Niveau, Audrey Pierre Black, or even some other players like Sandra Clement, that will help this cause here. So I think they can definitely learn from whatever they do against Brutes, but that final 4 games, circle those 4 games, they can definitely win 2, maybe 4.
And remember, Mo, if you're looking at the standings here, right, you only need to finish top 4 for the double elimination. So
that's
right now, at 4 games played, essentially, that's 1 win, right, with a tie. So 3 points is currently holding that 4 seed. So if your last 4 games, you can squeeze out 6, 7, maybe 8 points out of that, that's what that is, right? You're definitely still in contention.
For sure. And again, Wildcats, see, I always, we've spoken this, you, Pease, Izzy, and I, that, the women's winter is always the toughest division because it's the best of the best, right? Because that's when all the pretty much Olympian level athletes from the women's game show up and play. And you see it, right? Like this past winter was phenomenal of what we had. And, we talk about Sarah Parker, who we love and adore, one of the pioneers of the women's division in FPF. In that division, she's just above average, right? Because there's so many good teams, and that's not a knock on her, but it's just the fact the quality of the women's game is so impeccable that when you look at a team like this right now with Wildcats or even Red Bull, these are growing pains that they'll endure. That if they come back in winter season, this season will make them better. That they could be in women's 2, whatever they do, they can win 3-4 games and be much more stable. Because you come into winter season unprepared playing the FPF world, it exposes you and it frustrates you. And this could have frustrated them, but now they're going through the growing pains now. And I think that when they hit January and if they stick around for however long they do, yeah, they're going to be okay. They're going to be better and they will grow and learn from this. So I think Wildcats is the team I'm watching out for that can definitely make a run in the second half of this Fall Cup. So
let's take a look at Tier 2.
Tier 2, my friend. Tier 2, absolutely. So look, Tier 2, we're seeing the old recognizable names here. But one team that I'm surprised by, though, is still CRA. This is a team that we know very well, the history of players on this team, whether it is the Mapungwara, Mr. Bacalani, who we love and adore, and Alex Bacalani, whether it's Ryan Carouf, Thomas Lajoie, Nirosh Suresh. These are guys that we know very well who played in FPF for quite a while. They're 0-3 Igs, and I'm Igs, easy, whatever you want to call yourself, Eagle. But I'm surprised because, they had a bit of an issue on Sunday against Fins Up because they were missing guys who were stuck in traffic due to an accident, whatever it was. But this team should be better than what it is. Like, they're 0-3. They've been blown out in 2 of the 3 games. They lost by a touchdown to Voodoo. They got to be better than this, Eags. I don't know what's happened to them, but they should be no worse than 1-2. But they're 0-3, which is at the bottom of the pit right now, which is unbelievable because they have plenty of talent to work with. And right now, they don't look anything near of what they once were a couple years ago.
I think that's the part that worries me the most about this roster. It's not the fact that they've lost 3 games. It's how they've lost those 3 games, right? They got absolutely obliterated by Dirty Birds. They got absolutely obliterated by Fins Up. And we just talked about it last week about how Voodoo is like that team kind of on the cusp and maybe doesn't belong type of thing. That should have been a win for this roster, right? And the fact that they only put up 25 points in that game and allowed 32 goes back to the problem that this team is suffering from, right? Like Ryan Carouf, in 3 games, has put up 400 yards. How? How is that possible? He's on a ratio of 1 touchdown to 1 interception at this point in time. That doesn't make any sense either. And his completion rate is, at half, 50% essentially, at 10 yards a pass essentially. So this is not the Ryan Carouf we expect. And so I don't know if it's just the cast and crew is what's struggling right
guys
now.
He knows very well. He's played with for many years.
But that's why. So is it just on him? Is it that they're not syncing up? They trying something different this year and everything? Because it's not their opponents. Like, yes, Dirty Birds, Fins Up, Voodoo, they're decent teams and everything. But I look at the roster and I tell myself, yeah, you can compete with this. So the fact that it's not even close in most of the cases so far is worrisome. Next week, they have technically tonight, when we're recording this, they have the Boys Are Back.
Which is not an easy team.
It's not an easy team, but they've so far only played like a single game, right?
So look at the schedule, though. Diamond Bougie, forget about it.
That's going to be hard.
Easy W, forget about
Potentially hard.
Beer Belly Brigade, they could get. And the
infantry they're not going to get.
So you're playing essentially 3, if not 4, of the top teams of Tier 2. And if you're lucky, you might get 1, 2 wins.
Yep.
And you're in single elimination window at that point, right?
And again, if these games were close, right, by an extra point, by a score or whatever it is, okay, fine, maybe understandable.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's just such a difference is the part that's very worrisome.
Yeah, it's a bit worrisome for me because this is a team that has a wealth of FPF experience and they have not played well, and I don't know what's happened right now. But speaking of Diamond Bougie, I'm circling this team as my favorite to win this tier because
even at 2-1.
Even at 2-1, because I got to catch the game against Le Beau à Bassett yesterday, and they're due because last spring season they came up short. They underachieved when they were coasting, and they just kind of underachieved at the end. But I look at this now, and what they have as a roster. Arthur Dognon was one of my favorite players on defense. How he's played. Jerome Hovington, we know him very well. Jules Rajambal is a great player. Manu Alaroy, who we love now. He's a darling for FPF. Noah Davies, another cool dude as well. They have the key ingredients for this dish to be delicious. And they showed to me yesterday against a good Bassett team led by Frédéric Paquet-Parot that they can win those type of games. And now they get Beer Belly Brigade, which they should win. Stoics did give them issues a while ago. I think will be a win for them. Still, CRA will win. It's Arush that I think that might be the biggest issue, and Voodoo. They could be 7-1. And that's why they're my favorites to run the table, be 7-1, be in double elimination status, and be the favorites to win this division, Eags, because they have the right pieces in place of youth, high football IQ, and great team rapport on both sides of the football.
So that last point, and you've watched more games than me, but I feel like Diamond Bougie has this issue where they're almost having too much fun sometimes, where they get too loose and start making uncharacteristic mistakes, right? It's like they're enjoying playing, or they're just, I don't know, whether you're lighting up the scoreboard or making these crazy catches or crazy cuts, suddenly things become a little bit less focused. And then that one mistake, that one interception, that one drop, missed tackle, undercut when you shouldn't have, etc. Suddenly the tide turns in that game, and then they start having to play catch up when are driving on the last play. I feel like maybe this is the year they clean that up a little bit and try and, make a solidified effort, especially given, I'll call it the disappointment from last year where they got so close, but again, weren't able to kind of seal the deal.
Yeah, they're kind of like the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs, when they turn it on, they just run it on everyone, right? But when they kind of keep it close and they get a little twitchy and you're like, oh man, like what's up, right? Similar parallels with the Chiefs, with Diamond Bougie, that they allow teams to hang around, and then they lose. Like, oh my God, what the hell happened? But when they turn it on, they're unstoppable. And, seeing the look on Manu Alaroi's face yesterday before he had his game, there's a different focus on this team. There's a different determination on this team. There's a different vibe on this team that we don't want to be embarrassed. We want to come up. I'm not saying there's a window here, Eagle, but this is their chance where they could establish themselves as being the preeminent team to watch out for the next 3, 4, 5, 6, however long they play in FPF, because this core group has all those guys that you enjoy watching that can make a big impact. So Diamond Bougie is the team I'm watching out for. I think they can run it. Look, infantry game changers are definitely excellent. Fins up. I'm intrigued by what they've done so far. I love Sir William Power as a quarterback. As we said last week, I think he's on the cusp of becoming big time in this league and what he is as a player for FPF. But you look at on the bottom side of the dotted line of teams who are trying to chase and get to the double elimination territory. Stoics, can't discount Chris Rive. C-Riv, it's funny with C-Riv, when there's no attention on C-Riv or Stoics, they do very well.
Yep.
And we saw in the winter season, they had a Final Four run, and we saw last year, the last couple of years when he's in, that they've had some good runs. So Stokes is a team that, even on single elimination status, they could run it and get to the Final Four of FPF Cup and be in the Final Four, all we know. Now we lose Chris C. Riff for camera work, but hey, good for him.
And even Junkyard Dogs is that team that kind of sits around sometimes.
Yeah, but
like
they've been achieving though.
Yeah.
Have they passed their prime though?
Probably.
I'm not talking about POP, the team that plays in the league, but have they passed their prime though?
But they'll sit there, right? They'll be that team where when you look at the list, you're like, do we have to play them? Okay, even if you think you're better than them, it's still that's the game you kind of try and avoid.
Yeah, but you know what? Eagles, I forget what spring season it was. It might have been 2018 or 2019. Might have been 2018. Anyway, it was a year that they had a really loaded team. They had all the parts in place. The car was revving. They were driving down the 40 at 140 kilometers an hour without a angst in their bone to say, hey, we're going to glitch up. And they flamed down the playoffs. And they never recovered from that. They have never recovered from that spring season where they were favorites to win. They had everything, stars aligned to do it all. And they flamed out. And I look at this team now, with what they built up. Brandon Bagg is a decent player. Chris Brockwell, we know him for a long time. Hugo Alamano, Jason Rossi, Laristis, John Laristis, that I'm referring to, Yvan Desjardins. These are guys that Jason Rossi has trusted and believed in, but it's like they're missing that piece that can put them over the top. They brought in the Pollock years, and it hasn't worked.
Yeah.
And now here we are where can they put it together, and they'll be in the knockout rounds, but can they put it together to get into that double elimination bracket side to have that cushion to work with?
And if you look at their upcoming schedule and everything, it's not going to be an easy run, right? Kiss My In-Laws, Dirty Birds, the Infantry, those are probably L's. And the Ambush Easy W are going to be tough games too.
Loss. I don't see a win. They might be one, I think 2-6, 3-3. If they go 3-5, I think it's respectable.
Yeah.
But reality is they're at 1-2, maybe one more win. So I don't know where that's going to come from moving forward. All right, on to Tier 3. So Iggy has asked me to give my tier 3 top 5 rankings. But before we do that, I want to talk about the Trap Stars West Island Boys game that I score kept at Mary Vic on Tuesday.
Because
It was a stunning collapse by Trap Stars. Trap Stars had an 18-0 lead. Look at the final score, Eagle.
31-18. Shout out second half. 31 unanswered points.
Stunning collapse. Look, you, Izzy, and I have seen it with Penetrators against the Turf Tills in the final, which was a 19-point lead. But this is stunning because Trap Stars was in control of the first half. Like, West Island Boys looked a step behind the Pele, didn't look into it at all. But it just gave me more belief that West Island Boys, led by Zach Stacy, who is growing into this quarterback position, he's definitely gotten better. Nothing phases this dude. Like, he's so cool that they could be down like 45 points and then win by 18. And he came in the second half. Skylar Bailiff, who I love, I think he's one of the best underrated players that no one talks about in this league. Skylar Bailiff is an unbelievable player. He surgically opened up that Trap Star defense that had no answers in the second half. And it was funny, like the tables reversed where Ryan Garber and some of his guys were kind of getting frustrated at each other. Jordy Melnick in particular, there wasn't getting the ball, and the communication line was off and it got glitched up here. And you know, we spoke last week about Ryan Garber and this being in this division, how he is and what he should be, and we all think this is a great division for him. But we saw the great Ryan Garber in the first half. Then we saw the chaotic Ryan Garber in the second half. Not saying mentally, but I'm saying from a perspective that he couldn't get first downs. He couldn't move the ball. He couldn't score points. That's the object of football, score points.
do you think missing Cooper Young, who is DNP for this game because the injury, impacted them? Because he's been a big portion of their offense beforehand when they had, their other rosters and lower divisions as quarterback. But even now, just as a receiver and everything, as a DB, they were playing 6 for this game, right? So everyone's on the field all the time. You start getting gassed in the second half. That may have contributed to the fact that they weren't able to move the ball on offense and get a stop on defense.
Absolutely. And I think also you may bring up a great point, right? There's 6. You look at West Island Boys, they had like 7, 8, 9 guys. And I think that helped them because it was a hot, humid dome or complex in Mary Vic. And Mike Collar came up big in the second half. Batty Boonji came up big in the second half. That defense played well. They had trap stars and a lot of fourth down situations that they couldn't convert. And it's stunning because Eagles, like, 18-point lead, you should be okay. Like,
well, we talked about the magic number now with the onside kick rule and everything is like 13, right? You need to have
they
that
didn't
big
have
of
to
a
use
lead.
the onside kick at all. Yeah. That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
And they still won by that scoreline. So anyway, architects of their own downfall was Trap Stars. And West Island Boys, man, they are good. They are fun. They have definitely earned their keep in this division for how they are. And to answer Iggy's point of my top 5 in this division here, Eagle, as I wait for the page to load up with the standings here. And okay, so look, top 5 right now.
Please don't read the literal top 5.
No, I won't.
That would be funny, though.
It would be funny, but I would not do that to you guys. No, I will not. Okay, top 5 right now. So look, I'm gonna go Joe's Panini at number 5.
At number 5, really?
Number 5. Yes.
Even though they actually are sitting at number 1.
Sure, like it's like it's like a team who have a below 500 record that gets in the NFL playoffs with a division record, right?
So like the Panthers.
Yeah, exactly. Look, Joe's Panini, they are a good team. Zeb Tellys are there. Our boy Joe Marghese is there. They have a great pass rush, which we know very well. Matthew Zepatelli is having a fun time at quarterback, and look, he's finding his rhythm with his receiving core. They do have a quality win over Blue Drive, which won by 4 points, which I score capped. But this is a team that they beat West Island Knights, not West Island Boys. Not a good team. Wide Open Bar, Rude Boys, not a good team. So really, the quality win is Blue Drive for them. So they're my number 5 team at this point of the Tier 3 Cup.
What type of panini would they be?
I would say like a sausage panini.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what they would be. A sausage panini. It's not spicy, but a regular sausage panini.
Okay.
That's what I think they would be. Number 4, I'm going to go with, You ready for this? Killer Rays.
Wow.
Killer Rays. Yes.
Really?
Rebounding from their spring season, which they went up in weight class and didn't do well. Tyler Bianchi said to me in their last game of the spring season, we'll be back. They're back, baby. They're back, baby. 3-1, baby. They're back. Look, I love Killer Rays. This is a team that has definitely they are the fabric of what it is to grow in this league organically. And this is a team that has rebounded well. You look at their wins so far this year. They beat the Penetrators. Rico Reyes was a close loss for them. And then they beat Baby Dragon Magic, who they've had quite a rivalry with of late here. They are my number 4 team. I love what they have, and they got some key games coming up here. They will play West Island, that's who they should beat. But Griffin Nation, they'll play Trap Stars, and they'll play Auto U Pimp. So the last 2 games of the regular season or the opening round will give us a better idea, but they are my number 4 team right now, Killer Rays. So there you go for that.
If they were a panini, what would they be?
A vegetarian panini.
So wait, you would okay, I get it. In your case, vegetarian is better than sausage, but that's fine.
Yeah, exactly. They're my number 4 team. Number three. West Island Boys.
Okay.
I love, again, yesterday reaffirmed my belief in them.
I love the picture, by the way.
Oh yeah, I have it. I had to send it to you. Yeah, I gotta send it to you. I should have sent that last night. By the way, my bad. I have all the pictures. 85%, man. We'll be at 95%.
Yeah, actually, we were pretty good this year, admittedly.
Yeah, we'll be
so,
good. Don't worry. By tomorrow, we'll be up.
But the one team. Yeah.
One team. Yeah, great picture, man. Great picture. Look, they're in the ascendancy right now for what they built up. I remember winter season they came up short in a loss to Rica Riders, but spring season they kind of rebounded and did their thing. And now here they are at 3-1. A great quarterback, Cerebral, and Zach Stacey. Skylar Bailiff, as I said before, is phenomenal. One of my favorite players in this league. They have all the tools to be a really good contender in Tier 3. Again, their schedule of quality wins. Look, they took out Rico Riders. They took out Trap Stars. They'll get Team Sexy, which is going to be a little plucky team here, but they should win that. New Diablo should be winnable. Light Work, again, should be winnable. Bandits should be winnable. So they can definitely run it and be a 7-win team by the time, or 7-win team by the time we hit the next round of games here. So they're my number 3 team, West Island Boys, at this point in the Iggy top 5.
What would the panini be for them?
They'll be a steak panini.
I can see it, yeah.
Yeah, they'd be a steak panini there. You know, it's a good old West Island type of thing.
Little 40 West.
40 West
yeah.
steak, you know. Just ask for a steak panini out there. Okay, number 2. You ready for this one here, Eagle?
Mm-hmm.
Number 2. I'm gonna really go off the board here. And I'm not going off the board because I want to be like that dude, but I'm going off the board because I think this team is starting to really grow in how they are. Illegal use of hands.
You know, I knew you were going to say that after you gave it the little preface and everything. This
Yeah.
team is weirdly well-rounded, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, they got a good core. They got a good core in here. I mean, look, it's very San Leo heavy populated.
It is, but I think it's the mix of things that makes it interesting.
Yeah.
Right? Like having Anthony CJ on this roster
to calm them
changes
down. Yeah,
everything.
leadership, calming voice. He'll calm the likes of Dan Lazara and Beckham Barova. Well, Beckham's not a hothead or loud guy like Danny Boy is, but look, this is a good team. Matthew Samard is a guy who missed out last spring season because of work, but he's a really good player. I love what he is. Anthony Lazara, I know no one really knows Anthony Lazara, but he's a hell of a football player, man. Like, this guy can change games, and he has done that at times here. And then, look, you look at Barazzoni as well, our boy Alessandro Barazzoni. You know, he had a rough go at quarterback when he first came to FPF, but he's grown to that position now. And, you know, for the ratio that he has through 3 games, 10 TDs, 1 INT, 1 sack, I mean, this guy can definitely put up. He's on pace for putting up over 30 touchdowns in the opening round of this thing here. So I think right now they are definitely my number 2 team for what they've done so far. They crushed Blue Dry. They took out Wide Open Bar. They'll beat Bandits. The big one I think would be Joe's Panini. That's going to be a big test for Joe's Panini against this team here and how they fare against them as well. And then after that, though, they'll smoke Light Work. They'll take out Rude Boys and Born in the 80s. So they are definitely on their way to perhaps being undefeated and being 8-0. So they're my number 2 team. My number 1 team, Eagle, is...
Wait, what the panini would they be?
Chicken cutlets.
I feel like you put steak above chicken.
No, chicken's better than steak.
All right, fine.
Because steak, you don't eat steak in a sandwich. Like it's very.
Yes, you do.
I know, but it's.
What do you think a submarine is?
No, but what I'm trying to imply though is that, for the meat eaters out there, which I'm not. When I used to eat meat, like when I want a steak, I want to have it like the quality is the class of a steak.
Yeah, I get it.
Steak's a
Like
classy,
you want a good like ribeye or porterhouse.
it's a classy
I
quality
get it.
thing here, right? And you kind of put it in a bread. It's kind of devalues the steak, man.
Yeah, but
It's like putting fuzzy dice in a Ferrari. You don't do that, man. Don't do that.
and your number one team.
I know Pimps. Yes, shocker. They're my number one team right now. Look, they're a good team in terms
What
of
an angle for this picture, by the way. Down looking up.
You know what they did? They just probably flipped the phone
On
and had
selfie
the
mode?
lens. No, on the lens. So you know how you have the lens on the top right hand corner of the phone?
Yeah,
They probably flipped it and had the lens on the bottom of the angle here.
maybe.
Anyway, I know Pimps is a team that has definitely grown on me. David Gokowski has really been a good quarterback so far. I got Scorekeeper's game back in week 1, in which there was in piss and rain, and he did well in the elements. They've beaten penetrators. Mangoose they've crushed, and now they get a schedule where they can run it. The only tough game they have left is Killer Race, which could be for first place in that group. But again, if you get into double elimination status, that's pretty much what you want to get. But they have a good balance here. You talk about Lazarus' team or Barazone's team. That's a really good balance, but this is probably the second closest in terms of team balance of what they have. Jerome Hovington, Manu Alaroy, we know very well. Iggy Madians, of course, we know very well. This is a good team, and I think if Roy Kelly can get himself eligible, I'm not too sure if he's going to be there full-time, but if he's eligible, that changes the games for them because he is a savant on both sides of the football and can change it with the way he reads the game, reads the field so well. He's a game changer. That's what he is, and I think that's going to be key for them moving forward. So that's my top 5.
Last one here. If they were a panini, what would they be? Don't say tuna. Please don't say tuna.
No. Trying to think, man. Oh my goodness. Turkey.
Turkey is your number one sub.
No, it's not. But for them,
Okay. You know what?
because if we did top 5 subs, it'd be different though.
That is fair. That is fair. You're just you're equivaling them. You're not ranking the sub themselves.
sub
Okay,
is separate.
I can accept this.
Separate
yes.
highway.
So why are they Turkey? Because they're boring.
Yeah, they're lean. They're lean.
lean.
They're lean. They make you fall asleep, right? That's what they do. They make you fall asleep.
You got to cover them in mayo.
Yeah. Do you put mayo on turkey?
Yes, of course. My God, a little Dijon mustard too.
Mustard, yes, but I don't know about mayo.
Why not? You put both.
I don't know about that.
Why not?
I put, you know what's funny? People think it's gross, but I don't care. I put mustard with sweet potato fries.
No, I like spicy mayo with that.
Nah,
Like a little
it's
sriracha, give a little kick.
people think it's weird. I go, yeah, it's
It's not weird. It's what you do. It's fine.
Yeah, but there's like a ethics here on how to have your condiments with your fries. Like Eagle, I know you like to cook, and I see on your Instagram page as well. What is it, Eagle?
Dak Eagle.
Dak Eagle. There you go. And so Sunday, I decided to have vegan burgers, which I got it from like IG. I said, let me try it out. I said, let me make a side thing here, and I was like, crap. Sweet potatoes, like the potato itself is like massively expensive, like
Yeah.
$3.99. Like, bleep that. Let's take potatoes at home and make it, right? So I sliced up the potatoes, boiled it for 5 minutes to kind of give it a little bit of softness before I seasoned it. Seasoned it with garlic powder, paprika, all that stuff. I put it in the oven for 45 minutes. And I had it with mustard.
Got to get an air fryer, by the way.
Yeah, I know the air fryer thing is required, but I don't like the air fryer, man.
Yeah, I get it. No, it has a different flavor. I totally understand. But oven versus air fryer, I prefer the air fryer.
Well, because it's quicker.
Yeah. No, not that only that it's quicker, that it tastes crispier and everything.
Yeah,
the oven, whatever.
sure.
But deep fryer is still like the go-to.
It's just the arty clogger of arty cloggers, right? But the thing is, like, if you do it from scratch, French fries or sweet potato fries, it tastes really good if you know how to do it properly.
Yep, agreed.
It really is. So anyway, that's
for
it.
our YouTube audience, if you have a favorite sub or panini, leave it in the comments. We'll definitely take a look at these and judge you on your food taste.
Yeah, exactly. Look, we can have our boy Peasy because he has nothing else going on for him. He's at home doing nothing.
Oh, speaking of which, I think he actually did send us
Oh.
a message and everything.
Oh.
I gotta go find it though. Give me a little bit.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, lastly, before we wrap up tier 3 here, like teams that on the red side of the border of single elimination, who can jump into the territory of the green side? Teams to watch out for. Penetrators, I think they can rebound back from what they were. Trap Stars, I think they can rebound back, but they kind of have to play better football. Like it's been incredible how that was for them against West Island boys. The team to watch out for is Blue Dry. They were phenomenal in the spring season and in the winter season as well, but they're off to a very glitchy start. So Penetrators, Trap Stars, Blue Dries, watch out for them. Rude Boys, unfortunately, I just think right now they're kind of out of their weight class. I know they want to go up every year by division, but they kind of have to kind of slow it down here and just get themselves settled in here. Rafi Bastagian, who we know very well, who played with the Wolverines back in the day, still growing to the position as a quarterback, and if he can get himself more of a set play or two to work with, I think that will help his development and growth. So watch out for Penetrators moving forward. Did you get the PZ?
I do. You may want to
yeah.
put on your headphones so you can hear it,
hold on
though.
here.
Yeah, make sure it's turned on.
Yeah, it's on.
All right. So this is P sending in a message from earlier today.
Hey, dude. So I know my birthday is coming up, and that means I think I got to pay my license, but Natalia hasn't had time to deal with that because we have the kid, and that's kind of your job. So if you can handle that for me, I'd really appreciate it, dude. All right, thanks. Love you. Bye.
That's a you job.
Great. Thanks, Peace. Love it.
You know, it's gonna be funny. I think Pete is gonna make you like work on your wedding day.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Like, he's
honestly.
gonna make you pick him up.
Yep, I can totally see it.
I can see the call. Hey, Eags, do you have space in the limo for Nat and I?
No, show up yourself.
Okay, fine. I'll pick you up in 5 minutes. All right, on to co-ed 1 and co-ed 2. So here's the thing, right? The two teams that have victory so far, Vultures and Fit Squad. Who can rebound in the second half of the year, and can they redeem their season here? Now, look.
So what was the thing with Fit Squad about how they're terrible at outdoor games?
Yeah, okay, so I made a point in the spring season during the co-ed coverage that Fit Squad have issues playing outdoors because they lost a couple of games outdoors. They lost a few, I think, outdoors, and they were more indoor team. I said they're an indoor team. They're a climate control football team. I guess Iggy made the point that they are off to an awful start, which is true at 0-3. And so far, right, their outdoor games have all been shellackings, like not even close. They'll get their first indoor game against Deep Balls, who, by the way, did beat them, I believe, in the spring season on Monday at Mary Vic. I think this is my argument for Fit Squad. I think they can rebound back. I think they can rebound back because they're not a bad team. The only reason why I not that I don't dislike them or hate them, I just think that when things go against them, they become very irritating. And I think they have to keep focused on what they have to do. Because when they have a lead in hand, they're fun. They have this bravado that they can be beaten and stuff. But when they lose, it's like we blame everyone, including you, Mocon. I'm like, why am I being blamed for? I'm just punching stats in the iPad here. So I think for them to play Deep Balls, who they lost to, is a good test for them. Because after that, you got Kiss My End Zone. Then they play the Vultures, then the IG team, and Plenty Fish. Let me tell you, Eags, the next 4 games are murderer's row for Fit Squad. I don't see them beating the IG team, who came back to win in great fashion, by the way, Team Primetime. Vultures, I think, will rebound and Kiss My End Zone. Deep Balls is tough, and they match up.
But it's
well.
indoors.
It's indoors, right? Which can give them hope, right? It's going to give them hope. But Deep Balls match up well with Fit Squad. I'm not saying they got physically or physical with them, but they had some physical moments which they didn't like. And if Deep Balls can get that going for them, I think it's going to be tough issues for Fit Squad. In a way, they're sort of a finesse team. That's what they are. They are a finesse indoor team.
And then when it comes to Vultures themselves, they have also not had the greatest start to a season, but they've been competitive in both their games. So is there more hope on this side?
I believe there is hope on this side because Ben McMahon will figure it out. I love poking fun at Ben because he's a good guy and he'll get it figured out because Ben is a really good quarterback, and I know this team had Phil Roberts as a quarterback last year, and it didn't really work out. And Rashad Valier went down, which hurt their offense and defense. They're bringing Gigi Cabrillo-Bonte, Emma Townsend-Asselan, who's a really good player in the women's game as well. They have a good group, and James Drysdale is a great receiver. We know very well. Phil Roberts is really good as well. I think they will rebound back. I know they got a tough game against Kiss My End Zone coming up today as we speak, which is being played 8 o'clock, and that's why Iggy's not here with us. But, after IG team, they can run it. They can be 4 wins, and I think that's a likely scenario for them. But the next 2 games is tough for them. If they can split and go 1-2 and be 1-3, no problem at all. But I think for Fit Squad, they have more problems on Fit Squad for what they have to go through than with Vultures have to endure.
So I have a question for you.
Yes.
Ben McMahon, I remember when he first started playing, obviously tons of speed and everything, right? I think we all figured that one out. Over the years, he's reduced the amount of running plays put into his offense. So just as a comparison, if we go back to winter 22, 44 runs. If we go to spring 22, 49 runs. Winter 23, 42 runs. And then suddenly last spring with Ambush, 24 attempts. Now with Vultures, 3 attempts. Now granted, he has 14 with Ambush, but with the other roster he's on. But I feel like he's starting to trust his arm more. And I don't know if it's just trying to shift away from that run-style mentality and become more of a pocket passer and just use that as like an escape option. Or if he just trusts his receivers more and is trying to put the ball in their hands.
You know who he is? He's Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Really. He's Kyler Murray of this league. Kyler Murray, same thing, right? Like he used to run around and make plays and ad-lib and be excited like that. And they said, no, you need to become a pocket passer. And, he became average, right? He wasn't the same effective Kyler Murray, and unfortunately had the knee injury last year and may not play this year because they went to tank for Caleb Williams. But Benny McMahon is Kyler Murray because he's the same physical style, of height, weight, and what he does as a quarterback. But that's where he is more lethal if he is an RPO guy. Like, can he scare teams to keep them on their heels with attacking the pressure points with his running ability? Because if he freezes up that defense for a split second, you got James Drysdale, man. You got Phil Roberts. You got Manu Alaroy. You got Gigi Cabrillo-Bonte. You got players that can make plays. And here's the difference, Eags, right? Can he make passes or can he make throws? He can make passes, but can he make that throw? And that's going to be key for him moving forward. Is can he make that throw? And we'll see. He's going to play some good teams coming up. IG team is on the schedule. Iggy's team's on the schedule. We'll find out where he stacks up with those 2 teams coming up.
So, wait, follow-up question. If he's Kyler Murray, who's his Cliff Cligsbury?
Oh, man. Did his dad play?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it would be his dad. It would be his dad. Mr. McMahon. Yeah, Cliff is obviously if you put it on the screen, the Cliff Kingsbury draft night.
The picture of his house.
Yeah, it's sick.
God,
man.
I love that so much.
Yeah, he's a stylish guy. He's like, if you look at top 5 good-looking like coaches in the NFL, he's like number 1.
This fucking guy.
Yeah, I love that, man. What a gangster, man. He's number 1, like top 5 best-looking coaches right now. Number 1 in my books.
I always love how Bill Belichick just sitting in his room, his dog's on the webcam, and the whole thing, not giving a fuck. Yeah,
Nike, yeah, he's one that made the pick for Cole Strange, actually. Okay, so IG team plays the ECW on Thursday. Look, IG team, they came from behind to beat Plenty of Fish. They were down big. I know some guys were missing early on. They came in the second half. There's a reason why I call IG team the Team Prime, because they have fun. They're exciting, and to see what they did with a smile on their face to come back and smash and grab the game from Plenty of Fish, they're definitely the favorites to win this division for Tier 1.
Okay, I do need to ask the question, though. Modlak Haas was 5 interceptions. How many of those were very good plays by the IG team defense, and how many of those were just bad decisions made by Plenty of Fish?
I'm trying to remember because it was on the other field next to me. There was a couple of balls that deflected off of receivers' hands. So really, is that Mo's fault? I don't think so. I don't think it was. But IG team, though, the key against Easy Fun will be this. Can they be patient? Because Easy Fun is a patient team with their offense. They're going to wait to see if you open up a slither for them to throw a 40 bomb. And that's going to be key for them, is that can they be patient and not jump the route too quickly, because you got some good route runners on this Easy Fun roster. And when I look at Nathan Desjardins, good receiver as well. Our boy Samuel Emilio Pelchat, good receiver. You look at J.C. Ferland, he's a really good receiver inside the numbers, and that's going to be the key, because if he's catching balls inside the numbers, it's going to be tough for it's going to be beneficial for Easy Fun to open up the offense as a whole, and I think that's going to be key for them. And I think also the quarterback play too. I know Nick Blaze has been the guy for them with 8 touchdowns. If he remains patient, because if he throws a ball that's not full velocity, those guys in Easy Fun can make a big play. So I think Easy Fun definitely has to remain patient playing against. Each team has to be patient against Easy Fun, because they are going to be patient in their offensive skills when they want to move forward here. Okay, so the bigger free agent signings so far: Ricky Cristiano to Plenty of Fish, or Marvin Steinberg to Kiss My End Zone.
I feel like Rocco Cristiano to Plenty of Fish is the bigger deal, and I'll explain why.
Yes.
Marvin Steinberg, I find, doesn't fit in the Kiss My End Zone offense, because he's just another weapon in a list of other weapons that they have, essentially. Does it make sense? Like, does he actually make the team better? Like, if he misses a game and someone else shows up instead to play in that exact same spot, does the team get worse in that sense? I don't think so. Versus Plenty of Fish and Rocco Cristiano, I see him as a net improvement on this roster in terms of a slot that he's actually taking.
Yeah, look across the board, right? Seth Galina, Dylan Taylor, Charles Minier, Annabelle Chevrier, Julian McLaren Thompson, maybe he's an exception to the rule, and Daniel Massot. There's no burners.
No.
And Rocco Cristiano can burn you. He can run routes on you. And that's a missing piece. And I agree with you. I think Rocco is a better fit to make Plenty of Fish more dynamic and more explosive, right? They lacked the dynamism before, but now they don't have that issue. And look, already this year, they put up an average of 37 points through 2 games, which is great. And they'll play deep balls, who I think they can run it on them. And they get Kiss My End Zone. And that's going to be key, right? Can Rocco soften up Kiss My End Zone on that October 5th day outdoors? And that's going to be key in how they play. So I think Rocco's a better fit right now for Plenty of Fish moving forward.
And I think also, just to put it in perspective, Kiss My End Zone is one of those next man up type of rosters where can I say the players don't matter, right? It's a system offense. Versus Plenty of Fish, it's a little bit more, I'm not going to say ISO routes, but there's a little bit of a skill that has to come into it as well.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Okay, on to Koa 2. Sub-Zero. This is a team that we know very well.
We had a reel about it this week, actually.
Yeah.
By the way, subscribe to our Instagram page to catch all the action and the clips.
Exactly. So Iggy had to come pick up something for me, and I was scorekeeping their game against free agents last Thursday, and they actually won against Ball Hard University. So congrats to them on the first win. So impressions of this team so far. I'm still, and by the way, they played tonight as we record this show. Iggy was on the side of, I can't believe, and I'll paint the picture what happened. They were up 2 scores against free agents in the second half. Free agents scored, and they're down by a score. On 4th down with 3 plays left in the game, Sub-Zero went for it. Didn't convert.
Wait. Say that again. 4th down, 3 plays left. Where were they field position-wise?
From the 10.
From their 10?
Yeah, sorry, 1 play. It was 2 plays left. 2 plays left.
From their 10?
From their 10. From the Sub-Zero 10. They went for it.
Why?
Didn't convert.
Why?
Because they had courage.
No, they had stupidity.
They had courage.
Okay, wait. You're playing high-risk, high-reward football in a time where you don't need to do that.
And Reed went for a 4th and 25.
Yeah, but it's different.
But how's that different from this, though?
Because okay.
2 plays from the 10, 4th down. Sarah Parker's your quarterback. You got Laurence Pompignan out there. They didn't convert. Okay, fine. But here's the thing:
if it's like 4th and 1, maybe it's 4th and 10 from your 10.
What's your reaction if they did convert?
That was stupid. I would have said the same thing. This is stupid. Why are you doing this? Yeah, sure. Like, for me, the result does not equate to the decision. The correct decision is to punt it there. I'm sorry. It's the correct thing to do. There's one play left.
So
they have to throw the ball from their 10.
That's what Iggy said. And the next play, they scored free agents.
I mean, yeah, but what do you expect? You give them a non-zero chance to win that game versus if they're backed all the way up to their own 10, the chance is so much lower, right? Like, I just don't get it.
I applaud them. I had no problem with it. I really didn't because we will always criticize teams when they don't convert, which is how sports is, right? Eagle, that's how we operate in sports, pro or not. They went for it, man. Like, I don't want a team to be playing with some caution in their style. And Sarah Park was like, bleep it, we're going to go for it. They didn't convert. Well, guess what happened? They got scored on. Okay, good. It's not the end of the world. It happened. But I wonder now, like, if Sarah Park would think otherwise, right? And maybe punt the ball away. But you know what? My impression of them, they're good. They're fun. They don't care who they go up against. They're going to play the best of the best. And they believe they're the best of the best for their style of play. And good for Sub-Zero. And I think they're going to be better. They got the win over Ball Hard University. And now can they put together some wins and be that team to watch out for? I think they can win 2, if not 3 games, and be 3-5 going towards the next stage of the knockout round. So, yeah, I'm cool with it. I like this team as well. So, as for who can get their first win, Ball Hard University, free agents no more. Eagle, that's your team, correct?
That is my team.
Okay, let's look at a quick schedule. Look here for Ball Hard University. Let me get the roster. Okay, so
they're playing this week against What Are You Doing, Step Bros?
Yeah.
And then they're playing tonight, rather.
And they play you guys on
Sunday. Then they play us on Sunday.
Okay, so let's hope they lose. So let's come down to the game that could give that can crack the cherry for one of these teams here. You guys or them. So Ball Hard University is a team that has Laurent Charles on this team who plays with Ryan Kroof in a different team as well. You got some good guys in the team. Rami Aboud is a good receiver. He's really good from both sides of the football. Didi Charles is a good player as well. They have a good team. I'm going to say, Eagle, sorry, man, they will get their first win of the season.
I mean, that's fine. Just to put in perspective, I mean, I'm not there for that game.
Okay, so that makes it even easier for them. So they will definitely get the first one. So give me them to get the first win of the regular season. But you guys won't be far away. I think you guys will get your win as well. So that's how I see it from there. As for the remaining undefeated teams in Tier 2 of women of co-ed, I beg your pardon. So right now, the teams that are still undefeated right now and who we think will remain undefeated here, Kiss My Christmas Balls, Y&Y Balls Deep. I'm going to stick with Balls Deep. Under the radar, how they've been going about with their business the last couple of years. This is a team that has put together a good roster. I know it's very heavy in terms of what they have overall of a number of players on this team here. But I do like how they built it up here. They do score points. They scored 30-plus points twice. Quarterback play is strong for them, and our boy Benjamin Carley. And also, I think, as well, when you look at the receiving core, you look at Nathan Vizina, Xavier Paquet, Julien Morissette, good players on this team. Emma Langlois as well as a good player. They have a good balance. So I think they will be the last remaining team that will be undefeated until otherwise. So I think they will be the one that will stay undefeated for the rest of the regular season. On to Tier 4, Eagle, as we wrap up here for this week of CTA.
Well, no, we got Tier 1 after this.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about Tier 1. Yes.
Lol.
Yes.
Fine, we can't all be good at counting.
Of course not.
Tier 4.
This is an easy question, I guess. Of the teams with 2-1 records, that's 4 to be exact, how many will stay in the double elimination side of the bracket when the regular season ends? Okay, so I'm trying to understand here. So
he's saying, okay, let's open up the standings just so we can make sense of this idiotic question here. So there are currently 4 teams currently at 2-1.
Okay.
Megaron, Bend Don't Break, Cookie Monsters, and Skull. How many? Of course. How many of those teams? So there's 4 of them will be in the top 10 teams at the end of the season.
I'm going to say all four. I'm going to say all
All right,
four.
next question.
Yeah, there you go. All four. I'll make a quick point here. There's no one on the red side of the bracket that will jump up. Threat level midnight, no. Mutation, no. Meat lovers could get into that if they get things organized here. Who they know, Bloodline, no. But I think those 4 teams will be okay. I think the key is which of those 2-1 teams can jump to the top 3 with Ramfins, Pasadabiat, and Save the Turf Tolls. I'm going to say Bend No Break could be in that conversation, that they can get to that top 3 or top 4 of this division here. So I think that is where it is, but I think all 4 are safe for where they are, that they will be okay to be on the double side of the elimination bracket. Which team with the tie will end up getting their tie and fall into the single elimination bracket? So the teams with ties so far is Toon Squad with 2, Super Troopers with 1, Salt and Pepper with 1. I think Toon Squad's in trouble. I think that's a team with 2 ties. Eagle, you know very well how ties can benefit you in some ways, but can hurt you in many other ways. To have 1, you can say, okay, I accept my fate, but to have 2 can really be trouble because that can hurt you in the wins in the point differential or the tiebreaker scenario for them. I think Toon Squad is in trouble because even though 1-0-2, what they got to do is put together enough of an insurance policy of getting maybe 2, if not 3 more wins to kind of set themselves up to avoid any scenario of them losing out due to points or lack of points. So Toon Squad's team I'm watching out for that could be in trouble when it comes to falling on the red side of the bracket and not have the double elimination. The most in this division, Eagle, as I buy myself time trying to get that page up over here on tier 4. Hold on here. What are all these ads, man, on the website? These ads are killing me, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, I'm up. All right, quarterbacks. Okay, Vincent Chung has definitely improved. George Spanos played really well so far. He's played very well. He could be your quarterback of the year. He's definitely on pace for 35 touchdowns and could very well hit 1,300 yards passing in the opening round. I got to watch out for Nick DeLisi, I beg your pardon, for Pasadabiat. You know, it's not sexy, but he's cute. That's what he is, right? He's a quarterback that keeps it cute, and he's not going to beat you with a 40-yard cannon of an arm here, but he's simple. He's effective in what he does as a quarterback. And even when he went down for them, you can see that they're missing that oomph, and he brings it for Pasadabiat. So Nick DeLisi is the guy I'm going to watch out for, along with George Spano, to get into the top 3 of this division here. So watch out for those guys moving forward. And, you know, one more name to watch out in terms of what could be for them overall is Tyler Stewart. Watch out for him for Shastras. I know they've not played well, but he's put up 9 touchdowns, and if he can get more rhythm and more consistency from his team, they can get themselves a couple wins here. So watch out for Tyler Stewart moving forward with Shats Rats. All right, on to Tier 1, my friend.
That was a fast Tier 4.
Well, it's a question that Izzy put together that was not really...
So we're blaming Iggy for it, essentially.
Yeah, it was like he just grouped them together, right? And, you know, it's sort of like played itself into that situation here. I know it's a little bit quick, but I apologize, but I'm only one by myself here.
Just to put it out there, if you are in Tier 4 and you want us to talk about your team, send us a message, send us an IG chat or whatever. Just tell us about what's going on, right? Like where you're doing well, where you're struggling, what you're thinking about for this season and everything. We may and likely will start introducing our caller segments back to the show.
We have
so
to.
We'll just call random people up and ask how things are going.
Oh, hell yeah.
That may be you one day. Could be fun.
Oh, hell yeah, we need it. If I'm solo, we need calls, man. It makes it so much better. Okay, Tier 1. Iggy question again. Whose position would you rather be in? #NR with a 1-2-1 record at the midway point of the season, or Terror Squad at 0-2? Okay, good question, Iggy.
Well, okay, to answer this question properly, let's
Yes.
take a look at what's happened so far for these teams, right? So #NR, like you said, 1-2-1. They have played Blessed, Run It Once, 450 Ballers, and Terror Squad.
Which they won.
They have Maroons, Mangots, Cap Friendly Braves, and KGP left on their schedule. Can we say they likely weren't going to beat Blessed? The Run It Once tie is good. The 450 Ballers loss, the fact that it was close is good. The Terror Squad win is what we expected. And that it's probably going to go loss, win.
Yeah, like this team here for #NR, they have Ryan Castro at quarterback, which is good because now, fingers crossed, they found the answer to the question that they've been lacking. I know Corey Pecker was there, but he's back in Florida now, and he said this was going to be his last year in the spring season. And they kind of went through like a rotation of quarterbacks. They and that's been their MO, right? Ironically, since our guy Alexander Hollowak left, I mean, they've had a cast of quarterbacks, right? We can list them all. But Ryan Castro could be the guy for them, and it's still to be debated about that right now because again, he's been up and down with his team. They get Maroons 2.0 coming up on Sunday, which is outdoors. As I said before, it's not an easy schedule. Mongoose is a high-scoring team here. Cap-friendly Braves is going to be problems, and KHP is going to be tough. And I think for what they're trying to build up now moving forward here for #NR, if they can get 2 more wins out of this, you're right. I think 4-4 is good for them. And they're a good squad, but I think they lack that one player, that alpha player. And I'm not saying that to be insulting towards them, but look, Julian Granson's coming back into shape. Jordan McLaren, if he stays, is a good player. Julian McLaren's a good player. Kellen Maher is solid. Kenny Bai solid. Rashawn Perry solid. Ryan Perry solid. Sanders Armand solid. And Travis Moses is solid. But they don't have that Pat Jerome that can do it all right on offense. And if Ryan Castro can find that within this group, it makes it a little bit more dynamic. So I think they're the team that I think has a good chance. I think for Terror Squad, the biggest problem for them right now with what they've done so far is that they've had some very like laissez-faire losses. Like, I mean, they lost to Bless without Stephen Harper-Prasad at quarterback. Lost to #NR, both at Mary Vic. Now they play outdoors on Thursday when they play cap-friendly Braves, which is not going to be easy for them. All right, like it's not going to be an easy game at all, and that's going to be a tough one for them. And then Maroons 2.0 at Mary Vic on Monday. So if they could go 1-1, it'd be 1-3. Okay, not bad. Then maybe Rayon Lumiere, they could beat 4-5-0. They're not going to beat KHP. Nope, never overtime they will. So they might end up with 3 wins, and that's like a Terror Squad-like effort, like 3 wins. So I think #NR has a better, higher ceiling than Terror Squad, but I think right now I'm more into the #NR than I am for Terror Squad. The last undefeated team will be who? 4-5-0 or Blessed. Now, as we get the page up for 4-5-0 and for Blessed and their remaining schedule they have left over, both teams are 3-0.
So let's start with 4-5-0 first. So they have Run It Once in week 4, and then they have Blessed coming up. And then on Blessed side, they have KGP next week, and then they have 4-5-0. So really, I mean, first off, okay, let's start with that one. Do you think Blessed is going to be KGP?
Okay, if Sir William Power and Stephen Harper-Prasad is there, then KGP will not beat Blessed.
Okay, so Blessed is going to win.
Yes.
Okay. And then will 4-5-0 Ballers beat Run It Once?
Oh yeah. They have a list.
So then it really comes down to the matchup of these two teams.
Yeah, I think the key for Bless is they cannot go score for score with 4-5-0 because they'll get blown out of the water. They have to really, really make this a slow burn of a game and not get into a shootout because they don't have that type of style of play to match up with them. But they can score 40. But the way they score 40 is like they score 40 and not in a robust way. They'll score it spread out. Like they're going to take their time scoring 40. Whereas Lazare can score 40 in like 5 minutes. Like he's that typical NBA player that can drop 20 in 5, and that's what he can do with 4-5-0. And I think 4-5-0 has a chip on the shoulder. There's a different vibe about this team that was maybe missing from spring season that, maybe they were embarrassed because they didn't play well and they were exposed at times and they didn't look well on the football field, that is. They have a mission. And so far on this mission, they've taken out cap-friendly Braves. There's no regard getting them a run. And they smoked never overtime. They beat Run It Once. They're going to run it and be 8-0 by the time we hit knockout round. So #NR 4-5-0 will be the last team standing when it comes to being undefeated of the regular season. And finally, Maroons. They have their welcome back moment to FPF. Now, Maroons 2.0 is a team that is more old school than new school. Chad Byers, the guy that has been in the league before, he took a little bit of time off the last 4 or 5, maybe 6, 7 years, maybe 8 years.
Has it been that long?
I don't know. Let me go Chad's bio here. Let me see what's up. Chad Byers. Look it up here quickly. Chad Byers.
You know, it's not that hard.
Yeah, it went to 2013. Wow.
Wow, so it actually has been like
10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's wild, man. Okay, so he had a bit of a rough game.
Welcome back, bud.
Yeah, I'm happy to have Chad back. Chad's a guy that he will elevate the quarterback profile of Tier 1 because he's got that cachet. So they had a rough game, Chad Byers and Maroons 2.0 against cap-friendly Braves. In that game, he threw 4 INTs, and they weren't good INTs. It was bad throws. It was not good. It was not a windy day, too. It was sunny in Loyola. I think they've hit a little bit more of the humble pie area where it won't be easy. And when you play a team like cap-friendly Braves who are smart and the cream of the cream along with 4-5-0, you cannot – you gotta be smarter than them. You have to outfox them at times here. And I don't think Chad had the right plan in place to outfox them. And they'll play KGB today. Actually, right now, the game should be over as we speak. But after that, though, they get #NR, which they should beat. Terror Squad, they should beat. Run It Once will be a tough game, and then never overtime, they should win. So I think if they could get 2 more wins out of it, again, 4-4 or even 5-3 is respectable for Chad Byers to come back after 10 years not playing. So I think they had their welcome back moment here, got out of the system, and I think Chad will get things organized. And they're a good team, Eagle. You got Julian Fioli-Godino, former Laval Rougeois, playing the CFL. He's off to a flyer in terms of the receiving yards for what he's brought to the team so far with 12 catches and 4 touchdowns. Anthony Vandran, we know very well. Matt Bond is a guy who's playing for them this year. Kevin Laliberté is also there. And they brought in Pat Drome. And I don't know if Pat Drome will be a mainstay or not, but he only had 1 catch for 4 yards, but I think that would change for him. And they have a good defense to work with. So I think it was just one of those bad games against cap-friendly Braves, but I think they did hit the reality moment, and now they kind of get things moving forward in the right direction. So I think they'll be okay, but I still think 4-5-0 is the best team in this division. It is now time for
Games of the Week. Brought to you by BuzzFit. Insert plug here.
Hey FPF players, looking to take your fitness to the next level? BuzzFit Gyms has a special offer just for you. Join us today with no initiation costs. Get ready to score big in the gym and on the field. Visit us at BuzzFit Gyms and seize this exclusive deal now.
And there we go, Mo.
All right.
Let's go through these games of the week. Let me make sure I get the right track. There it is.
Excellent.
All right, we're going to go in the same order we did the divisions here. So we're going to start with the women's division.
Yeah.
Vortex, X and X.
Vortex.
Brut, Red Bulls.
Brute.
Wolfpack, Red Nation.
This is a good game. Give me Red Nation to win in a close one, though.
Wildcats, Brut.
Brute.
Wildcats, Wolfpack.
Wolfpack.
All right. We're going to go to Tier 2. Easy W, the Infantry.
Infantry.
That's what she said. Les Potes à Bessette.
Bessette.
Junkyard Dogs, Kiss My In-Laws.
In-laws.
Dirty Birds, The Boys Are Back.
Birds.
Ambush, Junkyard Dogs.
Ambush.
Kiss My In-Laws, Fins Up.
I'm going to go with Fins Up.
The Stoics, Diamond Bougie.
Diamond Bougie.
Ambush, Les Potes à Bessette.
I'm going to go Butt et Bessette.
The Infantry, Beer Belly Brigade.
Infantry.
Still CRA, Diamond Bougie.
Bougie.
All right, Tier 3, New Diablos, Mengus.
I'm going to go with Mangoose.
Bébé Dragon Magique, Idaho Yuta Pimps.
Pimps.
New Diablos, Bébé Dragon Magique.
Diablos.
Illegal Use of Hands, Bandits.
Bandits.
Illegal Use of Hands, Joe's Panini.
Panini.
Trap Stars, Blue Drive.
Oh, sorry. Illegal use hands. Sorry. I'm going to take illegal use hands in the first one.
Against Bandits?
Yeah, Bandits. I apologize. I mistimed it. And then I'll take Joe's Panini in the second one.
All right. Trap Stars, Blue Drive.
Both need to win here. I'm going to go with Trap Stars.
Team Sexy, West Island Boys.
Wib.
In and Out, Bandits.
In and out.
Light Work, The Rude Boys.
Light work.
The Penetrators, Rico Riders.
Riders.
Wide Open Bar, Idaho Ute Pimps.
Pimps.
Mangoose, In and Out.
In and Out.
The Penetrators, West Island Knights.
Penetrators.
Killer Rays, Griff Nation.
Rays.
All right, Coed Tier 1, Vultures, the IG team.
IG.
Fit Squad, Deep Balls.
Deep balls. We're gonna go deep balls. Yeah.
Vultures, Easy Fun.
Easy fun.
Kiss My End Zone, Plenty of Fish.
End zone.
Coed Tier 2, Free Agents, Kiss My Christmas Balls.
Free agents.
Y&Y, Who's Gonna Carry the Boats?
Y and Y.
Balls Deep, Sub-Zero.
Sub-Zero.
Free Agents No More, Ball Hard University.
Free agents no more.
What You Doing, Step Bros? Predators.
Preds.
Ball Hard University, Y&Y.
Ball hard.
Who's Gonna Carry the Boats? Free Agents.
Free agents.
Tigres, Free Agents No More.
Free agents no more.
Ooh, look at you. The 2 games I'm not going to be there. you pick us.
Exactly. They're gonna win.
Lovely. Tier 4, Threat Level Midnight, Mutation.
Mutation.
Toon Squad, Cookie Monsters.
Toon Squad.
Chat Rats, Bend Don't Break.
Bend no break.
Skull, Bloodline.
I'm gonna go.
Of course you do. Meat Lovers, Leos.
Lovers.
Leos, Bend Don't Break.
Bend no break.
Pack a Punch, Meat Lovers.
Meat lovers.
Pasta Arabiat, Bloodline.
Spicy pasta.
Only Flags, Megaron.
Megaron.
Houday, Super Troopers.
Troopers.
Megaron, Win Diesel.
Win Diesel.
Save the Turftles, Chat Rats.
Turtles.
Threat Level Midnight, Win Diesel.
Win Diesel.
And then lastly here, we got Tier 1, Maroons 2.0, hashtag NR.
Maroons 2.0.
Cap Friendly Braves, Never Overtime.
CFB.
Royaume Luminaire, Run It Once.
Run it once.
Maroons 2.0, Terror Squad.
Maroons.
KGP, Blessed.
Blessed.
Terror Squad, Royaume Luminaire.
Terror Squad.
Run It Once, Mangoose.
Run it once.
And 450 Ballers, Blessed.
450.
That's going to be our games of the week.
All right. That is it. Solo show today with no Izzy, as he was playing football today. But he will be back next week. We're in October next week.
We are in October next week. I will not be here next show.
Oh, right. Yes.
I am away for business purposes.
When are you back?
I'm back on Thursday evening.
No, but when are you back for the next show? Because we got to do the Christmas Halloween candy challenge.
We got plenty of time for that, though. Yeah. I'll be here for Halloween, that's for sure.
Okay, perfect. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
We do have a closing thoughts from Peas.
Yes.
I highly suggest putting on your headphones just to listen to it and everything. If you want to set them up for the magic words.
Magic words, Peas.
Wait. I got to redo this. I paused it by accident. You ready, Mo?
Magic words, Peas.
Oh, Eags, incredible thought. If an egg salad sandwich is a sandwich that contains like no lettuce, then is an omelet just a hot salad?
Good night, Damian Lillard.
He's not wrong.
That's true. That's pretty true.
Put the place up.